Hi, good morning, everyone. So
Good
today
morning, sir.
we're going to start the public cooperation. We are going to continue. Before we actually continue, I'm going to recap the lesson first of all. We talk about the public cooperation features. Well, in my last lesson, we talk about that's actually public corporations are the business organizations, which is actually controlled by the government, mainly with the objective of social welfare. We talk about mainly the features of a public corporations are mainly these are the main features we talk about. That is uh, can see state owned. It is owned by the government and it's created by law. That means the Parliament Act is there behind that thing. Every organization created by some Parliament Act. And third one, it is incorporated that have a legal status, which means incorporated in the sense that is separation from the ownership from the uh, owners, because government is because backed by the government, therefore it is incorporated. That is, there's a growing concern is there. Um, Even though the chairman or the president or whatever the minister change, the department, what you call the corporation, the state-owned corporation, public corporation, will not uh, no need to shut down, no need to wind up. This business will be there because it's backed by the government. Corporation is there. This means that they have a separate legal identity. It can be sued and other legal contract. Everything can enter with the name of this company or corporation. And fourth one is a state funded. These organizations are state funded in the sense always ministries and treasury and everything always helping to actually financial backing and everything always supported by the government. Therefore, we call state funded. They borrow money and they are free to reuse revenue from the sale of any goods and services as a result of that. State funded. We talk about that those are the fourth feature. And fifth one, we talk about the another main feature is provide the public services. Provide the public services in the sense that is they're providing the mainly the can see the most important utilities, especially education. Education means you can see how many schools are there. More than 10,000 schools are there in Sri Lanka. Government schools providing free education in rural areas and even the urban areas. And also health system. We can see we have hospitals are there. Hospitals island-wide hospital chains are there providing the
Sir,
not, yes.
Saranya is waiting in the waiting room.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So and also provide public services, utilities, example transportation. We have some CTV and all, and sometimes the public accountability is there. And last one, public accountability, they always has to actually give the records to the parliament, which means again because it's, everything is maintained by the taxpayers' money. This is the main features of the state-owned companies. So I want to take you a look at this list of government organizations in Sri Lanka, public corporation Sri Lanka. I think I taken this from the Wikipedia. You can see the commercial corporations, government-owned companies, and other institutions. So basically, I want to mainly look at this commercial corporation. These are the commercial or public corporations owned by the government. Uh, and these things actually corporations are mainly with the they, they are doing in order to provide a public service. You can see and government owned companies are there. These companies are main objective actually providing and taking a profit. But a lot of companies I'll show you most of the companies and corporations are loss making because government not that much efficient because they don't want to be efficient that much because I think the political problems and sometimes they don't want to actually increase their prices or something because they don't want to actually make profit because actually they want to make a social service. That's why. Okay, here we go. These are the government corporation in Sri Lanka. Agriculture Insurance Board, Bank of Ceylon. It might be, that's the largest bank in Sri Lanka, Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Central Engineering Consultants Bureau, Ceylon Ceramic Corporation, Ceylon um, Electricity Board, which provide the public utility of electricity. You can see in my house and your house, they're getting this electricity. We are connected because of this electric power. And Ceylon Fishery Corporation, like that. So everything, guys, you have, there's some corporations or single law, some multiple corporates, they are headed by ministers, right? Electricity board is the electricity minister of power and energy. It's a central bank, bank also everything governed by a minister of finance. Fishery corporation, there's a minister of fisheries. And also hotel corporation is there. Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, called CPETCO. You can see there's another minister is there for that, Minister of Energy and Power. Cooperative Wholesale Establishment, Development Lottery Board, DLB, NLB, National Lottery Board. This is normally headed by not only by minister, but there is a president is there. It's mainly under the control of direct control of the supervision of the president. And then from sweep tickets and everything, they get money. And also ETF, Housing Development, Minister of Housing and Development. I think their Prime Minister is currently he's holding a position. You can see local loans, National Film Corporation for the film and everything, and also NIBM. You can see near CIS we have National Institute of Business Management, Livestock Development, National Savings Bank. You can see NSB is owned by government, National Water Supply and Drainage Board, Water Board. No, I think for your house and my house also, we are getting water from here. People's Bank, another large bank in Sri Lanka, People's Bank. SLBC, here CIS, Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, Rupavahini Corporation, everything there, government media units, Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment, Cashier Corporation, Cement Corporation, Export Credit Insurance Corporation, Handicraft, and also Sri Lanka Reclamation Development, Port Authority, SLPA, one of the biggest, all the terminals and everything, the port section handled by that organization, it's owned by the government. So, and also Railway Authority is a single, you can see the monopoly currently, Sri Lanka Railway, you can see the railway system in Sri Lanka are not owned by private, it's owned by the government, transportation, utility service, and also Sri Lanka Rubber Manufacturing, Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, SLPC, right? Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, State Plantation Corporation, Transport Board, SLTB, you can see the buses and everything. Sri Lanka and all the transport, this Minister of Transport is there. And this one, all the Rupavahini, broadcast, everything, TV and radio, there's a Minister of Media, everything is there, mass communication, everything. State Mortgage Investment Bank, Pharmaceutical Corporation, for like that's a government pharmacy actually. There are a lot of private pharmacies are there, but government, Sri Lanka State SPC is there. And State Printing Corporation, you can see Timber Corporation, Urban Development Authority, these are everything. This is Sri Lankan situation. If you talk about the UK, you can see UK, there are some list of corporations are there owned by the government. And also there are government-owned companies. Companies mean these are managed by chairman, a president, but directly responsible to actually the government. But they are mainly, there's an income revenue generation corporations are there. But the problem here, these companies are normally underperforming right now. There's a huge chance if you cannot. That's why we are talking today about the privatization also. You can see these things. Most of the companies are actually loss making right now. Airport aviation services, Sri Lankan Airlines right now we're talking. Sri Lankan Airlines actually what happened now 49% owned by the Emirates. Right? So it was actually loss making now. Associated Newspapers, ANCL, you can see the Lake House newspapers, BCC Lanka Limited, all these companies you can see because of company, because listed on the Companies Act, LTD. You can see everything actually at the end. You can see LTD. What does LTD stand for? Huh? Rahma, what is LTD stand for? Huh? Limited or unlimited? No? Limited. Ne? Limited. LTD stand for limited. Ceylon Fertilizer Company, Ceylon Shipping Corporation, ne? Colombo Stock Makers, and Sack Makers, Independent Television, ITN Limited, ITN Television Channel, Kalugo Tea Estate, Lanka Fabric, Lanka Mineral, Lanka Phosphate, Lanka Salusala Limited, Lanka Satosa Limited. You can see Sri Lanka, this is a supermarket type of Sri Lanka, no? CW for Lanka Satosa. And it was actually that was privatized a little bit, but Sri Lanka still they are keeping their control a little bit. Lanka Milk Industries, Milco, this is also privatized. Majority shares actually sold to private sector. Right? Harijava own this company. And then National Paper Corporation, North Sea, Parantan Chemical, private sector infrastructure development company, skill development company. Like that, so there are rubber manufacturing, Tamankadu Agro Fertilizer, other institutions, plantation, how many plantation companies are there in Sri Lanka on the Sri Lankan government? Agalavat, Agrapatana, Balangoda plantation, Bhagawantala plantation. But these organizations, the main some owners. That's why they some sectors, some plantation sectors actually it's all the private sector under different government. They privatize these. For example, now Balangoda plantation and Bhagawantala plantation, right? Some plantations are owned by private sector individuals. Agalawatta, Agarpatana, Balangoda, Bhagawantala, Chilaw, Apugastan, Horana, Kahavatta, Kegol, Kelani, Kotagala, Turnagal, Maskelia, Maturata, Amunukula, Kusala, Kalavakali, Kuda Kusala, like that. All these companies are plantation companies, mainly tea, rubber, mainly the export oriented firms owned by government, right? But most of the private sector have mainly like most of the, like Apico, they have a JV thing, and also Evergreen company, they have their own tea estates, and then different Harijawa, they have all these Madlusima plantation, Balangada plantation. Different private sector individuals also have like a very big plantation companies are there in Nuwara, Hatton, and Badulla, Bandarala, all that areas. And more than that, there are other companies are there. Ceylon leather products, Ceylon oxygen, Ceylon shipping lines, Ceylon shipping lines, right? Not the Colombo shipping line, guys. Colombo shipping line, you know who is the owner of Colombo? Colombo International School. Wow. Colombo International School. Guys, so this is previously you can see this is actually other something that means they might have some government influence will have such a body is Colombo. Right? Colombo Dockyard, Colombo International School, Colombo Metropolitan Bus Company, Commercial Bank, Consolidated Commercial Agencies, Dankotua Porcelain, and Porcelain Company. Now Royal Ceramic and Lanka Tiles, everything owned by Dhammika Perry, right? And Distilleries Corporation, this was former owned by the government. Now Distilleries Corporation we sold to Harry Javadara in 1960s. Now fully owned by the distilleries company, the mainly making alcohol and everything is owned by private sector individual Harry Javadana and the Belsta Corp company. Now distilleries company is no more. Government stake is there very few. And you can see Elephant Light Corporation, El Kadu Plantation, LPT Plantation, Galadari Hotel. Galadari Hotel also was recently privatized and then taken back by the government. Hotel Corporation. Gampa Bus, Glaxo Welcome Ceylon Limited is owned by now, fully owned by now, not Glaxo Welcome here. It's called GSK Pharma. They are the one company, they are making Panadol and everything. Sri Lanka is a UK firm. They are in Ratmalan, you can see. Then Hinguran Sugar, Hotel D. Buhari, Hotel Developers, Hotel Services, Hotel Colombo, Unasol, Investment Monitoring Board, right? So Janata Fertilizers. So much of hotel list countries like that, guys. So you can search about in Lanka Marine, Lanka Lubricants, Lanka Tankers, Lanka. So list country like that, lot of lists, huge list is there, and university affiliated things are there. So everything, some government stake is there. So mainly, guys, I want to make sure this commercial corporation. Corporations actually these are the business organization mainly 100% owned by the government. Sometimes companies and everything, they can share the stake of these government companies with the private sector. So sometimes majority of the stake they can sell to private sector, that we call privatization. Today I'm talking about the privatization also. So these are the main features of the public sector corporation that we talk about in our previous lesson. So today I'm going to talk about the mainly reasons for the public ownership. Why government need to actually be there in the business world. Why government need to be there in the business world. So this is important because if the government is there, you can see sometimes some business sectors are there where private sector reluctant to invest because we need a lot of infrastructure. For example, a railway line. So railway normally private sector is not there because it is very difficult to build another railway line. Only government capable. So only thing with the permission of the government, you can put another railway. Like a train, you can import a train and you can put another train in the government railway. But that is difficult because government not allowing like that. All the trains are actually imported from the government only. Some trains are that not good condition. You can see the France and everything. They have bullet trains and everything, high speed trains which go like 400 kilometers per hour. But Sri Lankan railway system, we are still using our old railway thing, which is actually outdated diesel engines, and the speed limit you can see only 60 kilometers or maximum 60, 50, 60 kilometers per hour. Sometimes lower than that, but still that's only available option in Sri Lanka in the coastal area mainly. But we don't have that much of developed, internal railway system is not that much developed. If you have the very huge development, like a more like like a grid, like India, I think we can reduce the traffic jams and everything in great level. That's the main reason for government public ownership is for some avoid wasteful duplication, avoid wasteful duplicate, like natural monopoly exists, where it means the more efficient to have just one business providing services enough for the whole market. Like duplication is not no need. For example, no need to duplicate another railway line and private sector also going like that. Private railway, private sector going like that. Government railway going like that is duplication of wasteful duplication. That also uh, not good. And second one, you can see maintain control of strategic industries. So example, you can see like strategic, like national security and everything, you can't privatize, you can't give it to, okay, we hire our army, navy, air force, whatever. Can we privatize? No, no, can't, because that's the important thing for us to keep under the control of the president. If president says something, one command, everyone has to go and do that order. So it should be there, but private sector, if you don't buy private sector, anything can be happen. That's why it might be argued that it is better for industries that are vital to the nation's security, such as energy production. That's why we have electricity board, petroleum corporation, and everything with the government ownership. But electricity also now they are given some private substations are there, and also not only CPET, now IOC is there, Indian Oil Corporation. So they be divided that thing like a monopoly. We reduce because in case government can't do it one day. We remember I think like a couple of years ago we had a situation one oil tanker was delayed from there. We ordered from Iran, but some one of the reasons the tank was delayed, and we had a system that there was a huge shortage of oil, petrol and diesel at that time. I don't know either you remember or not. We had such a problem. We were in a very very we were everyone was scared, like freaked out because we were find out how we can drive now tomorrow. How can you go to school? My vehicle was like no almost like empty. This petrol tank. So I'm actually worried about how can I go to transport because all the petrol shed was empty, out of stock. Right, the one oil tanker was not there. But that's why I think this one IOC is there. Even the government delay, but private sector still they have their stock, their reserves. We have that is enough for one. That's why if the government fail, then private sector is there to carry on all the works. That's why those are energy things. Electricity also same. Can see electricity. We can see that recently. I think like a couple of months ago, we had island-wide power cut. Why? Because one power station was went off, tripped off, and that will impact the other one. The breaking. Whole island was in a failure. But like but couple of hours, you can see whole island was in a dark at that time. So it was a really, a disappointing thing. Like this kind of situation, how much of economy in that particular time? I think imagine that kind of situation, this kind of situation. If you have power cut or something, how can you do these lessons? So everyone doesn't have generators. How can we recharge our batteries? How can we recharge our computers and laptops and mobile phones without power? That is the problem. So how the banks and everyone they operate, their computer systems can't operate. So this is the problem. Wasteful duplication we had to avoid. That's why government need to be there and maintaining controlling strategic industries such as power and energy, security, safety, defense system in Sri Lanka, and maintain the control so that reliable supply and the quality can be guaranteed. And save jobs is another thing. Sometimes private sector they don't want to invest in those areas, but public sector as a government, there's a responsibility of the government look after the population, look after the civilians. For example, there was so much recent you can see after appointing of the new president, he gave like a 100,000, 300,000 job opportunities for the graduates, right? Unemployed people. So they recruited to the government system from their ministries, their corporation, everything. They recruited somehow. But they're giving, I think, monthly 30, 40,000 salary in the training period. So which is really good. Why? They have a living there, source of living, source of income. Then they can have their family. Then they can no, they have a kind of like a standard of living. So saving job. In some cases, business may have taken into public ownership to save jobs. Right? Sometimes private sector business not efficiently working. In that case, sometimes government taking those things we call nationalization. We're talking that today that lesson. The opposite of privatization is a nationalization. Sri Lanka that happened recently also the underperforming inefficient private sector organization government taken it back the government now the government side which is rarely happened but it happened actually. One good example you can see the plantation what do you call the sugar cane right? Palavatta. So that's the thing. So sugar that was really inefficient, but there also job opportunities are there. The private sector not operated that much. So much of garment factories were closed in the BOI zone in Katunayaka. Right? A lot of investors were there. They taken the factory, but not performing. They have closed down, shut down the business and went. But still, business the place is there empty. Sometimes with the machine or without machine. So government give the notice and take over those companies under the government to operate again. Because otherwise in vain, no one using it. Factory space is a huge factory, right? 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 square feet of factory. Someone taken this and the owner went abroad, not operating. So these are the government resources. So they should give it to someone who are doing. That's why government should be taken this called nationalize. Nationalization also happens. So today I'm talking about those aspects. What is privatization and what is nationalization? Privatization means government sell their companies, government sell their corporations to the private arms, private businessmen. That called privatization. You can see these things actually happen like a couple of government. So much of like a profit-making company is not inefficient actually. Profit-making company is very good, like Distilleries Corporation, never loss-making, profit-making, sold to private sector. You can see Glass Corporation, sold to private sector, Indian company. Same thing, so much of I give you a lot of example like Sri Lankan Airlines sold it. And they have make some plans to sell everything. Every year sell some properties. Why? Sometimes these politicians might have the benefits. They might have some kind of financial kickbacks. Sign this agreement, okay. Commissions. But mainly it's not good for the national interest because it should be a company which actually generates huge income for the company. Right? So this, if you talk about Distilleries Corporation, the annual right turnover like 6 billion, 8 billion, but now government not making any money, only tax income only. Tax income they're getting only like 1 billion, 2 billion. But the revenue, profit after tax, the shareholders are taking like billions of money every year from the business. That's right. So that's a talk. We'll talk about it today. Why privatization and why nationalization? How it will be good for the country. So saving jobs is important to government sometimes. Can see a government might take control of the falling private sector business if it employ a very large number of people. It might be preferable to allow a business to carry on trading even though it is losing money if it is prevent mass unemployment. For example, one of the reasons of the Prestwick Airport at Glasgow was taken to public ownership in 2013 was to save the 1,400 jobs, right? Which 3,200 jobs linked to the airport were also saved. Something that's right. The private sector, maybe like USA, under the Barack Obama time, there was a 2000 back in 2008, right? I think you are very small at that time, no? Right? But 12 years ago. Now I know you are 15. Most of you are the 15 or 13. No, 14 or 15. Maximum 16. 12 years ago, you are 4 years old. You can't remember, I know. 4 years old, 4 years old, 5 years. At that time, what happened when you're in kindergarten? So there's an economic recession happening in USA where all the business were start failing, right? Because this credit bubble was created. People avoid paying their loans back to the government. The bankers, what happened? The bank is unable to recover the loans. Land prices went down. So as a result, banks collapsed. Banks collapsing, all economy has that impact. Then there's a creation tension of unemployment. A lot of companies fail. As a result of that, you can see the organizations like General Electric, Ford, and everything. They have a huge problem of like survival. At that time, what the president was Barack Obama. His first term. Barack Obama was actually make a we call financial bailout They print the money and then they gave it to those companies to recover interest-free loan. They gave it, okay, here like a donation, we are giving this money, interest-free loan to actually to get rid of the situation. Okay, here the money, pay the money to the bank, get rid of this thing and recover the business. Because why? Jobs are there, like millions of jobs are linked with that companies, Ford companies, General Electric companies, right? So these are main big companies, multinational firms in the USA, which contributed a lot to the US economy. Wall Street, they had to give a lot of financial bailout to the companies, bankers, and these manufacturing companies in order to survive. Because that's why one reason why government involved in this business activity in order to save the jobs and fill the gaps left by the private sector. Yes, private sector always they have some gaps because all this private sector they want to maximize their profit margin. They want to maximize their profit margin, but never they satisfy the whole customer. For example, rural area, some areas their private buses are not working. Why? Because these are not profitable. Some areas are there. For example, if you go to rural areas in Sri Lanka, the only like a 20 families are living in some one particular area. But they also have daily needs to go to town and everything. Children are there, they have to go to school. But this bus service and everything, what happened? Private sector not working. Why? Only 20 families. So if one person going from every family, only 20 passengers are there. But bus, how many seats you have? 35, 50 seats like that. 50 seaters, 30, 35 seaters like that, 36 seaters. So you can't actually, there is no enough passengers in the bus to one journey. Therefore, they say, okay, it's not good. Even for seats, we can't cover the cost. So they, because of that, because of loss making, the buses and everything are not going in the some rural parts of the country. Private sector. But government buses, because CTB, Transport Board, they actually put in some buses and everything. Where people can't always walk, they don't have some might have the bicycles and everything. Or three-wheelers, but some lot of rural areas, people are poor, they don't have bicycles or three-wheelers or anything. So therefore, some areas are there, the government providing full service, right? So sometimes some areas you can see only the driver and the conductor only sometimes, but they're still doing their timetable. They're still they are going. So that's another thing, fill the gaps. You can see in some markets, the private sector will not make an adequate provision to meet the market needs. For example, it is desirable that everyone gets an education because it benefits society as a whole. You can see, however, the private sector would only provide the school places, like for those who are prepared to pay, like international schools and everything. They're preparing. They're mainly leading international schools. Huh? They are mainly targeting the rich people in the country, middle income people in the country, like schools like RI, Gateway, Lyceum, like that. And the schools like British, CIS, Elizabeth Moyer, AIS, and overseas international, they are targeting the top-notch, the category, the high net worth people in the country. So what about the poor people? What about the low middle people and the like low income people? They also have children, right? There are students are there. So they can't go to those private schools. Then how can they learn? That's why they have government schools. Every town there's a government school is there for providing free education. They're giving free textbooks, free uniform, and free admission to school, no term fees. They go and they study. They also have government providing all the building provided, washrooms are there, computer labs are there, science labs are there, aesthetic, the drama, music rooms, and everything fully government facilitate all these places. So syllabus is there, curriculum is there, government teachers are there, government giving salaries to those teachers. Administration is there, government papers are there, OL exam, LL exam, government exam board. And government universities also there. Because everyone can't go to the foreign university, everyone can't go to UK, USA, Australia, Canada, right? So only the limited number of people can only go like, and that's why I'm always saying to my students, you are very lucky because yeah, like a very few, like about like a 1% of Sri Lankan society to actually have that benefit to actually learn this kind of a curriculum and actually one day will be have the chance of going abroad to get your degree. But majority of the students and majority of the people in Sri Lanka, actually, they are mainly their basic needs, the essential education, still essential needs, they actually satisfy that by from government free education system. Free schools are there and up to free university. Even university degree, everything free. Not that much costly. Even master's exam, MBA, everything you can gain for a cheaper price. If you do a master's exam and everything abroad, it will cost millions of money. But here, it's around 500,000, about 5 lakhs master's exam in Sri Lanka and in Colombo University. Previously, it was like a 3 lakhs, but now it increased like that. So exams are there, the qualifications are there, but the world recognition wise, there's a problem because they always say Sri Lanka is like a Commonwealth countries. These third world countries, our universities, our education system and everything was not that much what do you call, they're not that much recommended by the international people because they always say, okay, their education is the best education. Here, our developing countries' education, they don't actually take into that much because they are the one who introduced these education reforms to Sri Lankan government. So the Sri Lankan government takes some time to adjust these their education system reforms, their syllabuses and everything. Anyway, there are some gaps. So always private sector can't do everything. The private sector can't start schools for the poor people. Private sector can't do schools free of charge because they have commitments are there. They don't have tax income. They're always making money out of this business. That's why government, those gaps by the private sector, government is there to provide all these things. Some areas which private sector reluctant to invest, especially education institutions, especially the transport system, hospitals. So, do you think this Navalok and Assyri and everything are going to the rural areas and doing these hospitals? No. Rural area people, they can't afford this cost. Right? If you go to Assyri and Lanka hospital, see how much they charge for a day. Right? More than 50,000, 70,000 right? For like a checkup or something. But if you go to government hospital, everything free of charge. They're giving the everything, food, medicine, the bed, hospital bed, everything. Doctors also very well qualified. Same doctors coming in the evening for channeling those hospitals also. Yeah, so there's a balance. This mixed economic system is there. So government should be there to meet the private sector needs. Consequently, large numbers of children would be left inadequately educated because of their parents either could not afford to pay or would choose not to pay. These things are there, especially the countries like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan. You can see this problem is there. Even though some students they don't have access to school. So you can see sometimes they don't have enough resources in the government. India is another country like Sri Lanka, close by to us. Then they also have some students, they don't have buildings. So sometimes their schools are there under the bridge. They don't have proper places to sit. So sometimes no teachers. So the teachers, sometimes voluntary people are coming and they're doing this. That's why this organization, United Nations, UNICEF and all the people, the education, everything they want to promote this is charitable organizations are there. And also like companies like Tata Group and everything, they are promoting this thing to helping rural areas to build up school labs and buildings and everything. They're providing infrastructure. Another one reason why government we need is actually not only to fill the gaps of the private sector. Last one, serve unprofitable regions. There are some unprofitable regions, as I told you, in Sri Lanka, you can see if you go to some areas like Batiklo, Vaunia, especially north side, northeast, and some special areas, like even some down south also, some areas, some very difficult situations. Sometimes they don't have access, the road and everything, not that much. Everyone have agricultural basis. Some both actually parents are sometimes farmers. Unprofitable regions. They don't have that much of income. So they are private sector, even you can see not even small retail shop also not there. So everyone they have to come to the right another 30, 40 kilometers they have to travel to go to the town and buy their daily need essential. There are some areas like so in some markets private sector would not deliver important services to unprofitable regions. For example, the cost of providing electricity to remote farm may mile away from the main power lines, main power grid, and that's what happened would be high to private sector provide. But However, a public corporation may be prepared to meet their costs by because the profit is not a key objective. That's why even though you are in a far away, still government providing you the main thing, water, electricity, everything they are giving to your doorsteps, whatever the distance you are in, because that's the essential thing. Sri Lanka, I think we are closer to 100% electricity consumption because there was some time people doesn't have electricity. Some houses we are still have some very few houses in Sri Lanka. Rural area they're still using that the kerosene that land. They don't have electricity, but government now they have 99.9% successful. I think they are going to give it 100%. They are going to give the power to everyone because it's a Sri Lanka is a small country. We can do it, right? But access to water is not that much good. Sri Lanka only few areas, only especially Colombo district we have. Other than that, some district they don't have water power. Everything they are supply the water and everything from their own sources or from by either from rivers or everything. So tap lines are not available island, right? So that's a problem. So these are the main reasons why publicity in the question we can ask, analyze the imports of public ownership of business. Or you can evaluation questions. Evaluate, it's a very good 12-mark question. Evaluate the importance of public ownership on business organization. So these are mainly advantages of public ownership, but there are disadvantages as well. You have to talk about it, you have to balance the answer and you have to explain our judgment. So you can see these keywords. We talk about here duplication, what is natural monopoly, what is a provision. Duplication is repeating something. Provision means providing something that someone needs now or in the future. And natural monopoly in the sense market where it is more efficient to have just one organization meeting the total market demand. Okay, the next point is reasons against the public ownership because as I told you, this is a very good 12-marker. Evaluate the benefit, evaluate the importance of public ownership in Sri Lanka. Evaluation, 12 marks. 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages. The reasons for public ownership, reasons against the public ownership, and your recommendation. Right? You know the 9-marker structure? Justify. Private sector, first option, private sector, public sector. Select one option, give 2 advantages and 1 disadvantage and conclusion. This is a 12-mark question. We have to start with the definition, then 2 advantages or 1 para with the 2 advantages, 1 para with 2 disadvantages, and 1 para with the conclusion. Yeah, alternative viewpoints you can express. You can say however it depends, kind of thing, like your viewpoints. This I'm again revising this thing. Why, guys? Your exam coming like in November, so like another couple of weeks. So you have to refresh your memory. Remember, I told you what are the exam writing structure. This time, 9-marker definitely there, 12-marker definitely there. Last time we only check up to midterm, only 6-marker structure, but now you should know how to write a 9-marker question. I told you, I gave you the handouts, everything is there. Please go through again because in first term exam, we are going to check both 9 and 12 both. So therefore, you have to have practice to write long essay type question. Okay, we'll see what are the main disadvantages, limitations of the public corporation having public ownership. There are some limitations always. Argument against the government ownership. First one, cost to the government. Yes, that's why organization always they want to privatize because it's very, as I say, have another loss making business is another burden. Why you are taking this burden? Always say, sometimes World Bank, IMF, they are giving, okay, we can give you loan, but this privatize. Why you keeping this kind of this much of business under your ownership? Give it to private sector, they will do it better. So they are the one who are giving these ideas, private sector to because it costs to the government. If you want to have a really profitable government, because government they don't want to be profitable because they want to have social welfare. When you think about the social welfare, you can't think about the profit. It's kind of like a trade-off between profit or welfare. If you take the welfare way, you have to forget about the profit. But World Bank and IMF, they don't like this. They always want to have, they're always saying government, no, you should reduce the inefficiencies in your government. These inefficient companies, why don't you privatize? You can see, I show you an article. This is private sector, Sri Lankan Airlines and the case of privatization. So at that time, Sri Lankan Airlines, you can see everyone, This was article actually on 2019 January, last year January. This article was there in this blog. Originally appeared in the Sunday Times, actually, the article from Sunday Times from by Miss Anita Vavasavitana. So you can see this government, this occurred in the document of the Vision 2025. Country enriched portion Sri Lanka. You can see the situation of Sri Lankan Airlines. 2007, there was a profit of how much? 5.1 billion profit 2007. After 10 years, Sri Lankan Airlines making loss of 28 billion. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this situation? What can you think? Any comments, guys? Huh? Can it be happen like that? After 10 years, a profitable business can convert loss? Yes. It happened already. 5 billion profitable company make 28 billion loss. Why? Why this kind of loss can be happening? Because of the cost. High staff cost, because it's manipulated by the politician. They put a lot of their staff members, they have a lot of their supporters into these jobs, aviation industry, Sri Lankan Airlines. Excess staff. And some planes, they ordered from, you can see now we reveal those things from the Boeing company. Unnecessarily. 3-4 planes they ordered. They have to pay money. Even though now we cancel the order, but still we have to pay penalties. Right? 28 billion. So the IMF and World Bank say, at that time, this situation with the government, you can see the minister and everyone was a different government. You can see Yahapal and the government. At that time, you can see this. They always say the partial pitfall of the partial privatization and everything. So you can see the organization, the net profit and loss going down, going down, going down. Can you see how it's happened? Loss making. At this time, it was profitable, managed by Sri Lankan Emirates company, Dubai on company, up to 2007-8, and from after that, what happened? Sri Lankan government managed the company. Government taken this. Now, profitable company make a loss now, loss and loss and loss and loss. Sri Lankan Airlines annual report. Main reasons also, I don't want to mention these things. Mainly, this is one reason why privatization was possible. Again, people say we should privatize the government on tourism business again. So different views are there. So still open. What you want? What I want to say is actually that's why some argument is there. This is costly to the government. This 28 billion expenses you have to still pay. Who need to pay? Government has to pay. From how? The taxpayers' money. Taxpayers' money. Like that. So mainly today and also inefficiency. We'll quickly finish this one. We have another about 5 more minutes. Guys, another thing is inefficiency. A lot of companies are inefficient. Inefficiency is there. Example, public sector railway provided criticized by the poor reliability of the regular lateness of train. You can see Sri Lanka, we are actually facing this problem. Never on time. If it's 8 o'clock, they are coming 8:30, 8:20, 20 minutes, 50 minutes late. Then how can you be there in the office at normal time? These things are there. And also, last 2 points, guys. Political interference. Influence of the politicians are very high. Those people are always influencing the politicians. And also, finally, difficult to control. These companies are very difficult to control because of very large. So much of staff members are there. So much of things. Unions are there. If you take an action, union will be strike and everything. They say, okay, no, we can't do. Either they will be like difficult to control. These government firms are really strict and very rigid. So these things are there, guys. So today, my lesson I'm going to again wrap up again now because we talk about today my lesson, the features, the reasons for public ownership. We talk about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons for government ownership, and also talk about 4 reasons for against the government ownership. So please go through this thing, and then we'll meet on again in the next lesson also. And I got only 2 answers for my WhatsApp group from Rahma and Tevi. Only those 2 only provide the answers for that my last homework question. So today also I upload one question to the Google Classroom, then you can upload your homework answers to the Google Classroom. Okay. From that we'll wind up today's session then, guys. Then see you on our next lesson. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.